Hey guys, Mike Rogers, the Outdoors Vlog here. I just about messed that up. But hey, it's YouTube. I'm not very good at it. And it's just words, and I don't do words very well. So, anyway, I do like to talk a lot, but you know that from watching any of my videos and my intros. I'm going to try to stop doing that going forward. And so I'm literally just going to roll this on the iPhone. I've got my chesty here. I'm going to clip my iPhone in there and trust that I don't drop it into the water. And I'm going to try and catch whatever might eat. All kinds of stuff. So whatever I catch, I catch. I have my old Hank Parker Lew's combo, and I've got my Lew's laser light on the 4-foot ultralight Shakespeare rod with the 4-pound line. So I'm running 8-pound line and 4-pound line. My fluke on one, Bobby Garland's on the other. So there are some options to switch some of that up. But anyway, this intro's already too long. Stay tuned. Let's see what, if anything, is biting today. Put this down. Grab the Bobby Garland and throw it out there. It looked like there were several of them out there. A bunch of small bass, and if you know me at all, you know that I'm happy to catch a small bass just as well as a big one. So, in fact, I'm happy to catch anything, small bass or any other fish, to be honest with you. I like catching fish in general. Well, that little looked like a white bass. I don't know if y'all could see that on the camera or not, but I came and looked at it, even kind of bit it a little bit, and then turned and went away. Oh, there's a good bass. Yeah, there's a good bass. Let me try to entice that thing. Well, it didn't like my line going over top of it through the air, and it swam away upstream a little bit. And it come out of a hole over there where there's some pretty good stuff. Looked like it could hold some additionals. I'm talking a good bass. I hope y'all could see it. Sometimes I say it's a good bass and nobody else can see it, and they're like, whatever, everything's a good bass if no one else sees it. Like I said, I've just got a few minutes, and with these few minutes, I'm going to try to catch some of the black bass variety. And hopefully one, I mean hopefully at least one, not like only one. But I would like to catch like a, a smallmouth, spotted, or largemouth. Y'all, I see what I believe to be some gar right about here. It looks to me like there's some gar. Actually, I say 2, but maybe 3. So not as big than what I thought, because yeah, they're definitely gar. Let's see if any of, I don't know anything about gar, so maybe they don't even eat right now. I don't know. They seem to be no eating right now. It seems to be the order of about all the fish I'm coming across right now. Too dirty here. Probably shouldn't have scraped on the bottom side of that lay down. But as I come down to the water's edge here, I'm liking my chances of catching something here. Okay. Now, what it might be, I don't know. But I do like my odds, if you will, of catching a fish of some sort. I do think there might be a little bass over there darting around too, but we'll see. Right through the tree. I always like fishing through the tree. One of the videos that I lost, I actually caught a really good smallmouth. And it was on my, like through a tree limb. I had to let the fish fight a while. I grew up creek fishing, but always still bass fishing in the creek, catching whatever would happen to bite. But I have learned that fishing with these little bitty jig heads and little bitty soft plastics on a little bitty line with a little bitty rod, I've learned there's some nibble, little sunfish probably. Had one that was actually trying to hang on, so cool. Anyway, I've learned that it's all right to be a little bitty. And a little bitty creek outside the big old city. It looks like some baby sunfish. And that's just me being honest. Colors, just look at some colors. I literally, this is going to be about the last thing I do right here is do this, and then since I come across those baby bass, yeah, I'm not going to change anything other than the color Arky 16th ounce jig head that I like to use. Where I had seen that bass. I don't know if it's even a bass over there now at all, but I'm gonna give it an opportunity to be one anyway. There's some bites. Got me a little something, little bass right there. That ain't the one I seen, but it's, look at that little feller. Yeah, it's an eating one, little spotted bass, it would appear. That ain't a bad looking little bass right there. Yeah, finally. Little creek fishing. I made that mayfly change. First cast with the mayfly. That thing's still real cold. The first cast with the mayfly. Yeah, it's out that way. There you go. Very first cast with that mayfly color. Now, maybe if I'd have made a cast just at that exact same time, in that exact same place, with the other Bobby Garland, that bass may have been there and been like, oh, I'm gonna eat. Oh, there's a fish that's chasing it. Was, I think. I get confused sometimes whether or not they're chasing it because I can't tell for sure what kind of fish it is. All kinds of stuff, and end up making some very permanent decisions, and that's very sad. I don't like that. But a lot of that, there's a little one. Well, they fight like they're a lot bigger than they are, don't they? Let's see here, that's just a big old rock bass. Big old rock bass, I figure. Yeah, look at that. That's a good one. It's a good eating size rock bass, really. You can get bigger than that. I've seen bigger, caught bigger. But mayfly color made all the difference. That Bobby Garland mayfly made all the difference. Look at them black tips spawning, I figure. Let's get him back in the water. Well, I was about to leave. There's one on that one. Not big. Look at that thing. Just fighting like he's just there, all that. It's another rock bass, looks like. A fat one, too. Purdy, purdy. Oh, just really ate that thing. Look at that thing. That belly and black stripes on its fins. There it goes. We're gonna make about the same spot. Usually with the rock bass, where there's one, there's five. That's what I have deduced over the years. I made a cast just a little bit downstream of that, where I had caught that one just about as soon as I hit the water. So we'll try that right there. I mean, that one, before I ever took the slack out of the line, it was loaded up already. So anyway, about to have to get on out here. And I hate to, just as I finally got some fish a-biting. What did I catch me? A spotted bass and a couple little rock bass. It's enough for a short little chesty video. Some creek fishing. But I tell you, there's better fishing to be done out here, and I'm gonna do it, but not today. I'm under some time constraints, and I just had to get over here and just try to get something to share with all 68 at the time of this recording of my subscribers. I would like to have much more. I really would. But I don't. I'd like to be able to make stuff that make people want to subscribe. You know? But I just don't figure I'm doing much of that right now. I'm trying. I'm gonna go over here. I'm gonna make a couple casts. I'm gonna pick up my other rod. I'm gonna move downstream just for a minute, make a couple casts, and then we'll just close this thing out. I cast right next to the end of a little lay down over there, and you know, there's fish over there, no doubt. I don't know if there's any size over there, but there's definitely some fish over there. See, I feel like I've got one. This up caught bass off a bed that wouldn't bite any of my other lures enough to get hooked. There's one. I think it's a rock bass. Boy, just wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. It's like wiggle, 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 yeah. Wiggle, 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 yeah. Wiggle, 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 yeah, yeah. I need to oil this laser light. It's about a year old. And I ain't done any maintenance to it at all. There wasn't any hook there that much. There's 3 little rock bass. There it goes. There's a little one. Man, they get on there and they fight. Them rock bass, they just shake their old heads. And they act like they're just the biggest largemouth you ever did see. That's a little something. Oh, that was a smallie. A short football smallie. I didn't get the hook set in it. I didn't realize it was even holding the lure in his mouth. But it was a short little football shaped, like fat bellied smallmouth is what that was, believe it or not. I didn't even see the fish. And then all of a sudden I kind of did and set the hook, and because I thought, well, I don't see my lure, I see the fish. I guess I messed that one up, didn't I? That would have been a really nice one to catch. But I didn't set the hook like I should have, see, because I wasn't sure about nothing. I was more or less trying to see if if my lure was there or what. But that's how it goes sometimes. I was just going to make a couple casts and pick up my other rod and move on, make a couple casts and walk out here. But I've got a rendezvous at a certain time, and I have to leave here at a certain time to try and get there with any kind of punctuality. When I get close, I'll call and make sure they're there, I guess. People I'm meeting's not always known for punctuality. Ooh, there was some bitage. Little bitage. See, this mayfly color has already just gotten tore up from bites and the few fish that I've caught. So now, here in the summer, this will get down to where you can actually walk out on these rocks and then fish. There is a ditch what runs real deep right down through there. Once you get a little further down, and you can fish all the way down that way. There's a little something. I think it's a little smallmouth dink. Look at that little thing, yep. Fat belly. And there it is. There it is. This is a little bitty thing. That's one of the things I think is fun. Get this ultralight, and you just cast right up in these inches of water over these